In this segment, we're going to look at something Google have done very recently, but they announced this last year, so it's been on the cards for a little while, and that is that Google are now going to ask all advertisers to verify their identity and their business identity when they join Google Ads, and advertisers who are currently advertising on Google Ads will be at some point expected to do this themselves as well. So when I logged into Google Ads recently to one of my clients' accounts, I saw this message. Now it's basically asking me to verify my account because of course there are a number of reasons Google are wanting to do this, which I'll go on to, but the idea is that you should go into Google, upload the documents they're going to request in order to verify your identity, because there are some things that could go wrong for you if you do not do this. So let's explore this in a bit more detail. First of all, Google have said not everybody needs to identify themselves. It depends on the vertical and industry niche that your company is in. Now I say that, but if you look at Google's list of what is allowed or what's not allowed, or who has to be verified or who doesn't necessarily need to be verified, it basically covers every single industry. If you're in retail, B2B, telecoms, software, or any of the kind of more difficult industries in terms of pharmaceuticals and legal and things like that, you'll need to verify. But just by adding things in like B2B and also retail, that covers pretty much most businesses. In fact, one of the points they've got here is service-based businesses as well. So I can't really think of any industry that's not covered by anything Google is asking here. So it's a very strange request to say not everybody needs to, but then say every industry in the world needs to do it. So I think it's a bit of marketing from Google from their point of view to sell this idea to people. So the question is, why are Google doing this? Why are they now requiring people to upload their personal documents to verify who they are? Well, it goes back to ad transparency. Now, as you know, I mentioned previously in a video that Apple have done some things to ensure customers are asked whether or not they want to be tracked when using their Apple device, so it causes issues for platforms like Facebook ads who use third-party cookies and other tracking to see what users are doing, because if an Apple user opts out of that, then you don't get the data as a Facebook ads advertiser. Now, Google are taking privacy very seriously as well, but not just privacy, as I mentioned, transparency. Google wants anybody who searches online to see exactly who is behind the business. Because what can happen is somebody could advertise on Google and they're not really a legitimate business. Maybe their limited company has some issues, maybe some defaults, maybe they've done some bad work. What they're trying to do is stop companies from tricking advertisers essentially with bad information or things that don't make sense, and avoiding kind of scams and things like that. So asking people to identify themselves online before they advertise in terms of the individual and the business, Google hopes to help reduce the amount of people having a bad experience. And what do Google like? It is a good customer experience, because the better the customer experience, the more customers stick around and use Google and don't go to Bing. So when a customer goes to Google and they perform a search, they can click a little button on the search results next to every single ad listing and see exactly who is behind the business, which I suppose is a good thing. So as an advertiser, what do you need to do? Well, of course you need to verify your business if you get this message. So go into Google, click on Get Started when you go into Google Ads in order to start the process. Then you'll need to verify your information using some official and recognized documents to verify these points: your organization's identity, your organization's address, your organization's registration number, your authorized rep's identity, and your authorized rep's address. Now, the reason it says authorized rep is because, of course, a lot of businesses do not run their own Google Ads account. So you might think, if I'm running Google Ads on behalf of a business, all I need to do is get the business owner to verify who they are and who their organization is, and I don't have to do anything. However, if you are running a Google Ads campaign on somebody's behalf, Google are going to want to know who you are. Now, you might be able to avoid this if you're not using a manager account, but if you're using a manager account where Google can see you're managing multiple businesses, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to avoid this. So be prepared to upload your personal documents to Google on behalf of other businesses you're managing, not just for your business. Now, it might feel uncomfortable because it's personal documentation and very sensitive information, but basically you've got no choice. The reason you have no choice is because Google will suspend your adverts if you do not verify your identity when asked. You have a grace period to do this. You have 30 days from when Google sends the message. The message in my account needs to be done within the 29th of January, so I've not got long to do it because it's very recently they've requested it. But if I don't do it on time, there is a big chance my ads will be paused because the account is unverified. So it's important not to push this to the back burner and leave it and forget about it. Just do it as soon as you can, get all your documentation together, and if you haven't got this message in your account, just be prepared. Make sure you have documentation, make sure your business owner you're working with has documentation as well, because eventually you probably are going to be asked for this information. Essentially, I think this is a good thing though. As annoying as it is for advertisers like me and you to go onto Google and have to upload documents for all clients and for ourselves as well, it's still a good thing for the end user, particularly when it comes to political advertising, which is a bit of a different verification process, but nonetheless, there is a process to see who's spending money behind political advertising, and I think we can all agree it's important to understand who's paying for adverts in the political space, trying to influence our opinions in politics. But also, of course, from a consumer point of view, we want to make sure as consumers, if you're going to buy something, you know exactly what business you're dealing with. You want to make sure if you're buying an iPhone and it's from Apple or someone who says they're Apple, the verification process shows it is indeed that business. So it's a good thing, just a bit annoying for advertisers. But in reality, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a good thing or a bad thing that Google are doing from the point of view as an advertiser, but also from the point of view as a consumer, because we are all consumers at the end of the day. So let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you guys for watching. This video was brought to you from the semacademy.com, which is my website I've created to help you guys get more from your advertising. It's a membership site that gives you direct access to training courses and materials that have all been accredited online that allow you to get better at paid advertising. And what's more, you get to ask me anything you want as a member. You can ask me any question for any challenges you're facing, whether it's on the courses themselves or in your day-to-day marketing life. I'll be on hand to help you every step of the way. Membership includes a 1-day free trial, so you can try it and see if you like it first time around. And thereafter, membership is only $59 per month to have unlimited access to me and all the materials which I'm adding to all the time with new courses and new modules. So head over to the semacademy.com to find out more, and I look forward to seeing you on the training.